Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I did, in fact, remember to turn on my microphone this weekend. Welcome back to Huts Gaming GT3 League on Assetto Corsa Competizione. It's got something in my throat. Hang on. Leading the way in the championship this weekend is Fabian Krebs. But just behind him, in fact, I think he's equal on points, is Nicolo Pagnamenta. That's going to be a bit of a title fight. However, given the current practice session that's going on, Krebs might have a bit more of a fight going on for him, as there's someone who's had a faster lap in practice. I'll have to get their name in just a second whilst I close some extraneous, superfluous windows in the background. Oh, that's loud. So, we move into live. And I don't know if you guys are going to want to see my ugly mug again. The brief trial run we had last time didn't work out so well because the stream started stuttering, though no idea if that was to do with the stream, or with the game itself, or the camera, or what. Hopefully, things will work out, as all of my drivers are up to date, the game is up to date, so hopefully we shouldn't get any issues. Currently, who is this? We'll go into the drive mode. Oh, that's not what I want to see. Who is this? Let's look at the broadcast. It is Christophe Andre. I don't know who that is. Seems to be fairly new to the league, or at least this is the first time that he's taken part in this season. Come on, I need something a little bit better. There's John Bomberclat in his rather... what's the word? Iconic is not the word I was looking for. Recognisable is a bit better. Recognisable Bentley Continental. Adrian Sandgreen is... there we go. Camera just trying to catch up. Number 23, Ferrari 296, and behind him is Khalid Malcolm in the number 111. Big Jabber in the black Mercedes AMG GT3. Behind that is Luca Smith in the Golf Team 296, going a bit too deep into the hairpin. Well, it's not really a hairpin, but he's gone round and he's had to restart. Antonio Mendez, another newcomer. We have 18 cars this evening. Fabian Krebs, 3-time race winner this season. 2 sprints and 1 feature. He lost out in the previous feature race after Pagnamenta caught him, and he has his teammate Christian Dorn again, who was absent last week. Taj Vadnal making a reappearance after Brands Hatch, I think it was. Jordan Lake. Losing old tracks of people who need a better camera angle. So there's Jabber, there's Sandgreen, there's Bomberclat, Christian Andre, no, Christophe rather, Jordan Lake, the number 24 Biscuit Racing Ferrari. You thought he was going round for a second there. Going a bit wide at... I don't know which corner number that is. 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe? They sort of lose track eventually, because despite being rather familiar with this track, as he gets it all wrong up the hill, he's able to keep going. Yeah, I might be quite familiar with this track. I first became aware of it back in 2007 on an old racing game called Driving Speed 2. There were 4 cars in it, all some sort of... well, there were, I think it was 3 Holdens and a Ford Falcon. And 2 tracks. Bathurst, or Mount Panorama as it's known, and the Adelaide circuit. Is that working? Yes, that is working. Frame rate looks okay. I'm going to close Discord just in case. Also close my password manager just to ease up a little bit more memory. Oh, Jordan Lake coming to a stop. I think he's run out of fuel. Lucas Smith currently 6th place. We need to bring up the times. Currently only 2 times on the board. Taj Vadnau with a 2:06. Immediately beaten by John Bumpercart in a 2:05. Adrian Sandgreen then goes a 2:03. Big Jabber 5/10 behind that. Khalid Malcolm now coming through the final corner. Can we get a better camera angle here? Sort of. That'll kind of do. Has invalidated his previous lap time. Brian Wilson makes a reappearance. I think he was banned from taking part in the previous race after causing a massive crash in the Nürburgring round. Laurel Fusion exiting the long straight into the chicane. Penultimate corner, and then the final corner getting a bit onto the grass. Final corner now, he's got the 963 inspired 911 behind. I think that might be... In fact, it is going to be... What's his name? Sherlock, who goes 6th place. And there is our fastest driver so far, 2:02.2. He got the fastest lap in practice by a whopping 0.8 of a second. It's Philip Kipp in a BMW Time Attack M4. Teammate is Taj Vadnau, who's currently 4 seconds down on Kipp's time. And I think Kipp is going for it again. There is Christian Dorn and Pagdamenta behind. And Fabian Krebs, only P3, 1.6 seconds down on Kipp. So I don't know who this Kipp guy is. I don't know his name on the Discord. And I've just completely out of the left field. Never seen him before. Can we get a better camera angle, please? That's a bit better. Jesse Metternich in the Mazdagini. I think he's the teammate of Pookie, who is not here today, by the looks of things. Which means we only have one glorious V10 engine on the track. Number 229, Marek Liberson in a Ukrainian liveried Ferrari. At least I hope it's meant to be Ukrainian liveried. Very nice. P7 for him. Brian Wilson, only P12. Christophe Andre has not got a time on the board. Antonio Mendez also doesn't have a time on the board. Laurel Fusion trying to improve his lap time, which is 5.3 seconds down on Kipp's. Moves up to P9. Philip Kipp does not improve. 13 seconds of the session remain. So some drivers may not get another flying lap in here, and I think Pagdamenta is going to be the first of our drivers who will not score an extra flying lap here. Indeed, he finishes. He's going to do a best of P5. Fabian Krebs, can he improve? He is 300ths behind Adrian Sandgreen, which is all he needs to do to get onto the front row. But it's quite a margin ahead to Philip Kipp, and he does move ahead of Sandgreen, but still a second clear of Kipp. Jesse Metternich trying to get a time on the board. Number 55, Mazdagini. And he moves up to P4. Adrian Sandgreen, can he improve take back P2? He can! He's only half a second slower than Kip. Jordan Lake, trying to get a time on the board, does manage to go P5. Khalid Malcolm also trying to get a time on the board. The last of our drivers, who I think... yeah, the number 4 has stopped. So Khalid Malcolm, the last driver who can get a time on the board. And he does manage to get into P8, which means we apparently have 20 drivers, and 5 of them did not set times. I didn't see Isti there at all. Is Isti here? I think he is. Yeah, he joined late. He's still got the stock livery for some reason. Number 296, hey? I think we've lost Laberson. No, it's a different Laberson. 229 and the 228. He was in a McLaren before, but that's gone. Let's just check if everything is on. It doesn't appear to be. Let me just... yep. Just making sure I didn't accidentally leave the audio off last time. So, less than a minute until the 20-minute sprint race. Philip Kip will lead them all away. Gotta love those wheelies. And that's what I like to see. "20 seconds for everyone to finish up adjusting their cars or whatever it is. Adrian Sandgreen ahead of Krebs, who has had a relatively poor qualifying. 5 seconds until the formation... well, it's not really a formation lap, is it? Until the rolling start should begin. We've got a couple cars in the pits already. Khalid Malcolm and Sherlock have failed to... yeah, something's gone wrong there. But they should... I don't know what's happened there. But it looks like that they will be starting from the pit lane. Philip Kip will lead them all the way. And... it's green, green, green. We're going racing here at Mount Panorama, and Fabian Krebs already ahead of Adrian Sandgreen. Pushes them to the outside of turn 1 as they go up the hill. It's the 2 biscuit Ferraris in 3rd and 4th. And Philip Kip already pulling a little bit away from Fabian Krebs, who wants to try and win yet again. Been a relatively clean start here, as we don't have any massive crashes. That's Bomberclack going a little bit wide. He's got a bit wobbly, and he's being overtaken by Jabber at this minute. Can he hold on to the position? No, he cannot. He's now ahead of Lieberson. It's trying to make his way back past Jabber, who has not had a good exit out of turn 4. Going wide, and Bomberclack's under threat from Lieberson as well now. Oh, Lieberson getting quite wobbly, touching the wall. Oh, very slidey Ferrari manages to get past the Bentley. Very nicely done. Meanwhile, Kip gradually extending the gap to Krebs behind the 2 Ferraris in line astern formation. Sandgreen providing a little bit of a slipstream for Jordan Lake. And I don't know if Jordan can make the move here. He's definitely got the overspeed on his teammate. Can he make a dive bomb into the chicane? No, he cannot. Pagdamenta quite far back. He's been consistently 2nd place, but now he is only 5th. And And Bomberclat now under threat from Kip's teammate Taj Vadnal as they go through the final corner to start the second lap of this race. Oh, there's been a mistake of some description. Isti, I think, has had a spin of something has happened to him, but now he's been overtaken by Sherlock and Malcolm, who did not take the start. Mendes has also apparently had a spin. I think the two 296s at the back of the field have potentially come together. Jordan Lake trying to get past his teammate now. And there's a question of Jordan is faster than you. Potentially. There's no DRS here, there's no push to pass. You have to rely entirely on your racing abilities, and Sandgreen has pulled out a bit of a gap on Jordan Lake. Meanwhile, it's about 1.5 seconds. Nope, yeah. 1.3 seconds between Kip and Krebs. The BMW driver managing to pull away. Jesse Metternich catching Pagnamenta here. And I think Pagnamenta may have just touched the wall a little bit. I think Metternich also glanced the wall as well. No punctures that I can tell. So we're still racing here. There's been another incident. The number 111, that's Khalid Malcolm, has had a bit of an incident at the narrow bit. I don't know what it's called. I'm not that familiar with this track. Christophe Andre currently P10 ahead of Laurel Fusion. And that is a somewhat damaged looking Ferrari there. You can see the bonnet lifted up just a little bit. Oh, and Tajvad now has had a crash as well, so I think, yeah, things have not gone quite right. Pagnamenta going very wide at turn 1. Potentially under threat from Metternich. Half a second between them. And there's been another spin for Khalid Malcolm on the exit of the chicane. And he's now been passed by Vadnal. So Khalid Malcolm now dead last, I think. Both of them going into the pits. So Vadnal is in the pits. The number 13 and the number 296 are also in the pits. Something is going wrong. I cannot. There we go. Pressing the wrong button, that's what. Vadnal coming in to fix his car, as has Isti and Brian Wilson. So there's definitely been some coming togethers. Oh no, I heard the tyres squeal. Adrian Sandgreen seems to have got it all wrong. And now he is in 6th place. Jordan Lake, his teammate, takes 3rd. Pagnamenta and Metternich up into 4th and 5th respectively. Is that damage on the Ferrari I can see? Potentially. Oh, Metternich clangs the wall. That is not going to help his scenario. Not the scenario, that's the wrong word. But yeah, that's not going to help him out at all. Doesn't appear to be any damage, but now he is under significant threat from the Ferrari. You really don't want to be doing that too much, if at all. So all his time that he was gaining on Pagnamenta is now lost. He has to defend from the Ferrari. Let's see, is that damage I can see on the rear? Oh, we got the final turn all wrong as well. Went a bit too wide. Sandgreen might try and take the inside. No, he tries. It's not going to work out just yet. I'm trying to go backwards through the cameras. It's not quite working out. Oh, Brian Wilson being lapped, letting the Lamborghini and the Ferrari by these two Italian giants of supercar manufacture, battling it out. Except one is identifying as a Japanese rotary car maker. especially a very famous Japanese rotary-powered car with a quad rotor, but this is not a quad rotor, it's a V10. I think your Lamborghini might need to go to counselling because it's having one hell of an identity crisis. Let's see. Any other battles on the track at the minute? I think the two, well, Christian Dawn on the tail of Luca Schmidt. The Gulf Ferrari. Looking very nice. Oh, and very wide as well, and there's contact between the two. Luca Schmidt got the turn wrong and collected Christian Dawn, and now he's been overtaken by Sherlock. Ah, and that's a lot of damage on the Garas Porsche. Oh, and there's more spins I can hear. Tajvad now has got things wrong. These camera angles are rubbish. Kip now 2.2 seconds ahead of Fabian Krebs. Either this isn't Krebs' favourite track, or Kip is just a better driver. He's just showing Krebs what it's like to be, well, Krebs. Two Ferraris, though one of them is Isti, who's been lapped. Metternich still under threat from Sandgreen. Currently one of the closer battles on the circuit. Sandgreen trying to take the outside of turn 4. Not quite working out, though the Ferrari does seem to be getting better traction on the exits of the curbs. Metternich has to try and not clonk the wall anymore, as we're a little over halfway, no, a little under halfway through this race. 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go into the difficult bits. The hairpin, or it's not really a hairpin, it's the tight bits. I don't know what it's called. I wish I knew what it was called. I should have done some research. And Metternich might be catching Pagnamenta again, and gets that corner much better than the last time we saw him. No walls hit today, and that might be helping him drop Adrian Sandgreen, who is now a second behind.
We're at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
Halfway mark has been reached. Counting down the minutes of this sprint race. And Pagnamenta seems to have put his foot down. 1.8 seconds between him and Metternich, whilst Philip Kip, I think, matched his qualifying time, 2:02. So he is absolutely flying. The best that Krebs could do was a 2:03. The number 3 car has had a spin. That is which car? Oh, Fusion! Oh dear. And he finds himself now being passed by Luca Schmidt. Oh dear. The Gulf Ferrari actually has some damage on it, so I wonder what happened there. Oh, of course, it was because he hit the wall and collected Christian Dawn. He still has that massive amount of damage himself. Khalid Malcolm getting that all wrong. Tajvad now also has been getting things wrong. I think he's not a fan of this track. I think he's been pinballing his way along somewhat, given the amount of damage he's got, and yeah. Pardon me. 3 seconds separate Kip from Krebs. Krebs, well, the top two more or less safe. Jordan Lake seems to be more or less safe. Isti is going to have to provide an opening for the cars behind. Pagnamenta getting much more pressure from behind. He's being caught by Metternich, who's just clanked into the wall again. Don't want to be doing that, Jesse. So that's going to hurt him on this straight here. He's going to lose time to Pagnamenta, and well, lose time to Sandgreen behind as well, who is flying, but not flying enough. He probably wishes he had some Trent engines from an Airbus, but then, well, don't think it would fit, honestly. 0.2 of a second between these two cars. It's been the battle to watch in this sprint, as we're 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go. Metternich needs to try and get some cleaner laps in. Try and catch the car ahead whilst dropping the car behind if he can. Pagnamenta gradually catching Isti. Vadnal into the pits once again. And the gap stabilising between Sandgreen and Metternich once again. Jesse just has to try and stop hitting the walls. He can catch the BMW. He just needs to... The walls seem to be his best friend, and he's just hit another one on the inside. Jesse, I know you love your friends, but the walls are not your friends. I think you have to abandon them, mate. Oh, I think Pagnamenta just met the walls as well, so making friends of everyone, these walls are. You can see the gap is closing. I wonder if Pagnamenta has potentially picked up not just some damage, but potentially a puncture, because that gap has closed quite significantly. I think Metternich is going to have the better line. He does. Gets it excellently. Doesn't hit the wall. And now on the straight, though I think the BMW might be a little bit faster. He's trying to break the toe, but there's not much you can do to break the toe around here. Half a second between them, but he's got less than 6 minutes to make the move. Behind, there's another fight going on. John Bomberclat under threat from Marek Leiberson. Oh, I thought that was a contact there. There's a car going over the gravel. That's Christophe Andre getting the chicane all wrong, and that's Leiberson getting really close to the rear end of Bomberclat. I don't know who to watch here. We've got two battles going on. We've got Metternich fighting with Pagnamenta and Sandgreen, and then we've got Leiberson trying to get past the Bentley of John Bomberclat. It's going to be quite the battle here, as there are less than 5 minutes now of the session remaining. It's looking like it's going to be a very comfortable win for Philip Kipp, and Bomberclat going wide at turn 2. Not hugely wide. Doesn't seem like it's going to help Leiberson much. I don't think there's going to be many overtaking maneuvers made here. And Sandgreen... Sorry, I thought there had been a switch of position. There hasn't. Though Metternich has been dropped by Pagnamenta a little bit. I wonder if he hit the wall again. Possibly. And I think that Metternich is not going to have enough time to really get past the BMW here. He's got to now focus on maintaining 5th, because Pagnamenta has put his foot down. Leiberson still catching the Ferrari, not the Ferrari, the Bentley. Getting my cars confused. One is a prancing horse, the other is a pair of wings with a B in it. 3 minutes and 30 seconds of the race remain, plus whatever the remainder of whatever lap is left. And Bomberclat getting slightly wrong, but Leiberson getting more wrong. Oh no, that's that battle done. Leiberson is going to have to settle for 9th. Unless he can put in some mega laps in the, well, mega lap, rather. I think there's only 2 laps left now. And Metternich has dropped Sandgreen, so I think whilst we were watching Lieberson have issues, I think Sandgreen has had his own issues. So now Jesse can focus on catching the BMW once again. There's another Ferrari that might be having some issues in a minute, because Jordan Lake... Nope, sorry. The car behind is Isti 104, who is lapped and quite some way behind. He didn't qualify, which is why he was so far behind, and he had a bit of an incident, which is why he's now been lapped. He had to repair his damage. He is going quite nicely here. Don't know what his lap times have been. Let's see, can I go to the basic car? There's, oh, 202.7. Now, that is a very nice time. Let's see what the times have been for Jordan Lake. 203, 202.5 for Krebs, 202.1 for Kip, who has the fastest lap of the session, and I think he's approaching the final lap here. Bring back the broadcast, and final lap. And Kip is several seconds ahead of Fabian Krebs, 7.3 I think. Can Isti get a little bit of glory? Can he unlap himself? I don't think so. He's not going to have the time. And I don't think that Metternich is going to be able to overtake Pagnamenta either. Oh, Pagnamenta getting a little bit sideways, though. Drifting around turn 1. Metternich had it much better. But the gap's still around a second, so it's not helped him too much. But if it unsettles Pagnamenta for the rest of this lap, then maybe Metternich could get 4th place here, and I think Pagnamenta's got that corner wrong too. Metternich flying here, and Pagnamenta's clonked the wall. That Lamborghini is getting bigger in his rear views, like the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. Except this is quite the charging bull here. The door could well open in some point of the remainder of this lap. Jesse getting closer and closer. Oh, I thought he was going to try and make the move there, but no, Jesse Metternich's got it all wrong. Oh no! And now he's under threat from that Sandgreen again. Ah! I was rooting for you, Jesse. And now he's understeering. Still keeping the Ferrari behind. But is the Sandgreen... The slipstream gonna help Sandgreen out here? Don't know, as Philip Kip is about to cross the finishing line with a 202.4. Fabian Krebs 14 seconds behind, and Sandgreen's gone for it! Metternich made a hell of a mistake. He pushed too hard in the mountain section, and he has lost 5th place to Adrian Sandgreen. Utter disappointment. Sandgreen takes P5. Been a nice lonely race for Big Jabber as well, who's going to finish P7, 2 seconds ahead of John Bomberclat, who's 2.3 seconds ahead of Marek Lieberson. And then it's quite some time to Sherlock behind in a rather damaged Porsche 963 911. And that car does not look very nice to drive. I think he's actually on controller, isn't he? 5.3 seconds ahead of Christian Dawn. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice shot. I wonder, can I get... Oh, that's... Press the wrong button. Oh, well. Sherlock will finish P10 with a very slow lap. 2:23. That's 20 seconds slower than the rest of the field. Don't know what happened to him there. Carly Malcolm only 12th, and Luca Schmidt last of the drivers to actually finish the race will only manage 13th. And will finish the race in the lead lap, that is. With a 4-minute lap? Eh? Okay. So there we go, there's our race winner for the... what's it called again? The sprint race, that's it. It'll come to me eventually. And we will be going into qualifying 2 for the feature race. And I reckon it's going to look something like... I think pole position is going to be held by the car you're looking at on screen right now. That white and purple BMW M4 GT3. Just got to wait for the session to end. And there we go. 8.6 seconds to Krebs. The closest gap was between Sandgreen and Metternich, 0.7 of a second. I think Jesse's going to be kicking himself there for making that mistake, but this is a very tricky track here. And the reason Sherlock didn't take the start was because he didn't press start. Oops. So, we're going to trial something for... Well, I'm going to trial the camera again for qualifying and the race. See how things go. 8-minute qualifying, 40-minute race. Hello. Again, that's odd. I'm gonna make that a little bit smaller. That's too... There we go. That should work at least. So, qualifying 2 has begun. Now we've got some cars out already. Need to return to the garage again, inexplicably. First car out on track was the number 27 of Fabian Krebs. Where is it? Oh, the 2 Garas Porsches line astern, coming out 1 by 1, 2 by 2. Not quite the ants in that nursery rhyme, is it? The ants come out 2 by 2. Hurrah, hurrah, something. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Moved away from the car I was looking at, so Fabian Krebs will get the first of the... Oh, yeah, that's not working out, is it? Is it? It's lagging a bit, isn't it? So I think the camera is a no-go. Let's try something else. Will that work? Decrease the quality of the camera. It doesn't need to be that big, actually. Run with it in 720. Looking quite nice at the minute. Oh, it's quite a small window, though. I forgot to do something about that. Got a yellow flag. No, it's gone now. Okay, let me just... Will that help? Oh, wrong button. Let's see. It's quite a small window. Fabian Krebs will be the first man to start the flying lap here, set the benchmark, but it's taken him 2 minutes just to get round to the starting line in what is only an 8-minute session, which means he is going to have, at best, I would imagine, 3 laps, if he's lucky. And he's actually dropped his teammate a little bit. So, Fabian Krebs on the way up the hill. We will actually bring back the basic HUD and see what his lap time is going to be like. Let's get rid of that. I realised my image is actually in the way, and that is still lagging a bit. I'll make that even smaller. It's just my face now, so if I move my face there. Right, so Fabian Krebs, a minute into what is a 2-minute lap, heading into the most difficult section of the Mount Panorama circuit, and he more or less nails it. Very nicely done. Oh, love it. Especially with this gorgeous sounding Porsche 992. Unfortunately, I don't think the streaming software is liking my face very much. So I think we're going to have to do away with it and just cope with the game. Maybe, if when I get something better, no promises on when I get something better, but when I get a better PC, as I shut my phone up, I'll be able to stream my face at the same time and not have any problems. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna have to turn my face off. Oh well, it was worth a try. Final corner, and Krebs sets the benchmark at 203.375. Meanwhile, where is our next car? Well, Adrian Sandgreen. Ooh, 203.0 ahead of what's his face? Fabian Krebs again. There's Philip Kipp. Gonna try and set P1 here as the game is still lagging for no reason whatsoever. Yeah, we are dropping frames for some reason. Across the line, 202.6. What? I thought he was. Hang on. Let's bring up the broadcasting HUD, and yeah, he is. So let me see, what was Sandgreen's time? As we try and find him, 203. Okay. I thought he was into 202 for some reason. Oh, he conks the wall. And we're still dropping frames, inexplicably. This is getting really annoying. Hang on, it's that, isn't it? Is that going to help? Will I be able to bring my face back? Let's see. I'll bring my face back briefly and see if that's going to help. Because I forgot to turn performance mode back on. So, 2 minutes left. Fabian Krebs, where is he? I can't see him. Most of the board has time. Most of the people. Oh, whoa! Guess who's in the lead at the minute? Isti 104. Having returned to the season, he didn't partake in rounds 1 and 2. He is into the 201s, the first man to do so, ahead of Jordan Lake now. This is the useless. I wish I could just click on whoever. Ugh. That's not working. Let's turn the camera back off. I tried. Let's see. Still dropping frames. So what? Where is? Oh, Philip Kipp is into the 201s as well. 201.2. He's made Isti look slow. Who is this guy? As once again, we're skipping frames. I'm not doing anything differently. But we're just gonna skip frames for some reason. No idea why. 30 seconds left in the session. Can Isti improve his lap time? Maybe, though he's down. He's got 20 seconds or so to get to the finishing line. I think he'll be able to get another lap in and see if he can improve his 201.9. It's gonna be a little close, but I think he can do it. 9 seconds, and he can get on another lap here and see if he can beat Philip Kipp to pole position for the feature race. 3 minutes left for people to finish their laps here. Most people in the pits already. Christian Dawn on his final lap here, a second up on his previous best. More than a second up, almost 1.2 seconds. If he nails the final corner, he's up by 1.3, up to 7th. Jordan Lake has not had a good lap on this final run, and he does not improve. He's 2/10 down in the end. Luca Smith also up by 1.4 seconds on his previous best. I think he'll be able to jump Sherlock here, who has only managed P13. And Smith up to 12th. Lieberson matches his best time. Laurel Fusion has quite a bit of the lap left remaining. Isti 104 just behind him, and he is up by 0.3 of a second as we are dropping frames again, and I think these are the last cars left on the track. The number 3 of Laurel Fusion and the number 104, Isti 104, in the blank Ferrari. Fusion up by a second, but that is not a huge amount. He'll still be a second, 4 seconds down. If he's lucky, he'll move up to P14. But all eyes are on Isti, who is only up 2/10. I think he's lost a little bit of time down the straight, which means Philip Kipp almost certainly on pole here, unless Isti gets this final corner incredibly well, but he's losing time and he's aborted. I think he's lost. I think he actually ran out of fuel on the final corner. Yeah, the server is speedy, but for whatever reason, I keep dropping frames. I don't know why. It's just being irritating. So it's pole position for Philip Kipp once again. And this time he's got to hold on for 40 minutes. You know what? I'm going to open the Discord and see who this guy is. See if I can find who he is. Because he's just coming out of nowhere. One minute until the feature race gets underway. Let's see.
Seconds.
I don't know who Philip Kipp is. I can't find him on the
20 seconds.
Anywhere. He is completely new to me. I wonder, is this going to help me?
10 seconds.
I don't see him at all. Is this Tom Tom? I don't think so. It would surely would be, say, Tom Tom. No idea. Anyway, let's get into it. The cars are rolling for what will be... Ooh, wrong car. There we go. Philip Kipp. Isti alongside. We'll wait for the green lights. Can't see them. And it's go, go, go for the feature race. And that looks like Jordan Lake might get the inside of Isti. And it has worked out. The two Ferraris have swapped positions. There's a bit of a kerfuffle going on. I think Sherlock has lost a position. He took a bit too much of the curb. There's a car coming out of the pits. That's Lucas Smith, I think. He wasn't in the pits, surely. I don't know what happened to him, but it's been a pretty terrible start for Isti. Oh, there's lots of... Was that contact behind? Yes, there has been some incidents. Who is that? What's that? Which car is that behind? I can't tell. Sand green. Oh no! I know what's gone. Something has gone on. Some of the cars have lost out. Jordan Lake, who was P2, is now P10. So there's been a bit of a kerfuffle going through the right-hander of turn 2. Fabian Krebs, P2 ahead of Isti. Ahead of Pagnamenta, who is in a bit more of a favourable position. Bomberclat into P5 of all people. Car number 5, 5th place. Oh no, Pagnamenta's got it all wrong. He goes round. Oh, and then Jordan Lake as well. Massive crash. What? How has that happened? It can't be an oil slick. Christian Dorn has to go around the mobile chicane. Jordan Lake into the pits. Oh dear. No safety cars in this game, I don't think. So we've lost someone we lost the guy who took P2 at turn 1. Oh dear. I don't... Is he gone? Is he just... No, he isn't moving. So that's just allowed Philip Kipp to get a 3.1 second advantage on the cars behind. So Kipp, congratulations, you've just won this feature race. Bomberclat though, can he maintain what is, at the minute, P4 now? This is unbelievable positions for John. He's always been further down the field, but now, courtesy of the chaotic start, finds himself up in the lofty heights of 4th place. But he's got some mental drivers behind him. Adrian Sandgreen is quick, and Metinik is quick as well, and there we go. Bomberclat, under the pressure, makes a mistake, drops down to 5th, and now almost caught it to Ferrari again, the McLaren, the Mazda Lamborghini almost got past as well. Was pretty close, but whilst we were stuck with the camera looking the wrong way, it seems he's lost a little bit of ground. Can Bomberclat hold on to 5th here? He's already 1.2 seconds adrift of Adrian Sandgreen. He's not looking the fastest. But rooting for you, John. See what you can do in this great big lug of a Bentley. Jabba has damage, ostensibly from contact on turn 1. Pagnamenta has massive damage. Christian Dorn into the pits. And I think Jordan Lake may have retired from the race. He hasn't got moving again. And Isti getting closer. Oh, he was, but he's actually lost a bit of time to Krebs. Only a 2:04 on that previous lap. Christian Dorn coming out of the pits. I don't know if that was a scheduled stop or if he just reset there. Not entirely certain. Want some better camera angles, please. Sandgreen. Is Adrian here under threat from John Bomberclat? 205.9 for John, 204.4 for Sandgreen. So they've just done their best laps. 205.5. So Bomberclat is definitely slower than the cars he's sandwiched between. but not by much, only by a matter of tenths of a second. So can the Bentley hold on to 5th here? There are no mandatory pit stops, so the only reason that any of these cars would make a pit stop is because they've clonked the walls. Seven tenths to Bomberclat for Jesse to catch. 7 tenths, 6 tenths to gnaw away the gap. Level Fusion under threat from Khalid Malcolm as well. Oh, and he gets it wrong! Another car claimed by that corner manages not to pick up any damage. No, he does pick up damage, never mind. Oh, and I think Brian Wilson has also got it wrong. And I think, yeah, his damage seemed to be a bit more terminal. So many cars being caught out by that final corner after the mountain section. Jordan Lake did make his way back out, so he has not retired, but he is a lap down at least. Pagdamenta is also pitted for repairs, and it's all gone wrong for Nicolo, hasn't it? So what has the laps been like for Fabian Krebs? 203.2, his best lap so far, and on his previous lap, 203.277. So practically matching each other here, Isti and Krebs. The gap currently stable around 1.6 seconds, whilst Philip Kipp is pulling away. 202.9 on his previous lap, so he's actually... yeah, he is faster, just naturally faster. So they just need to hope that he has a crash. 204.8 for Bomberclat, 204.5 for Metternich. So the Lamborghini is catching the Bentley, but not by a huge amount per lap. But I think Bomberclat has just made a bit of a mistake. He may have hit the wall. Oh, but Metternich makes a mistake himself, goes onto the grass, and that's actually opened the gap up to 1.2 seconds. We know that Metternich kept hitting the wall in the sprint race, and that was hurting him, just as long as he doesn't hit the wall there either. Manages to keep it clean. Bomberclat now chasing after Sandgreen. The gap doesn't look that big, does it? Isti looks a lot closer to Krebs here as well. That gap is closing. We'll have to see what their fastest laps are, well, the lap times are at least. Through the final corner they come, and Krebs not looking so quick. What are the lap differences? Krebs now has the 2-minute 4. Isti has a 2-minute 3, so it's a whole 9 tenths of a second quicker. As Brian Wilson's still in the pits, and Isti getting a little out of shape on the exit of turn 1. Getting closer. Bomberclat. Oh! What happened to Sandgreen? Where is Adrian Sandgreen? What happened? Oh! Yo! What was that? I apologise for that. That came out of nowhere for me, too. I don't think my computer is liking this setup right now. Sandgreen in the pit, so what happened to him? Unfortunately, I don't know. I wasn't watching. Ugh. Just came out of nowhere. I need to make sure things are alright. CPU usage is fairly high. There's my mouse. Come on. GPU usage. Yeah, kind of makes sense that it's being almost completely used. Can't exactly overclock it. Apparently, the game isn't responding anymore. Pretty sure it is, actually. If it wasn't responding, it would be completely motionless. It would be frozen. So Bomberclat is in 4th once again. Metternich in 5th, after I can only assume was a mistake or a spin or something by Adrian Sandgreen, who was in such a good position. Fabian Krebs also in a good position, but might not be in as good a position for much longer. Fusion is in the pits as well. So things going wrong. The track is claiming its victims. Such a complicated and difficult track to master. I would know. Oh, those arrows and driving speed too, using only a keyboard. I hit the wall so many times that I actually found the one wall in the track where it hadn't actually been modelled properly and you could just drive straight through. There's a video on my YouTube channel of that, actually, if people want to check it out. Driving speed 2 fast lapping glitches. Glitch, I think it was called. Old video. Meanwhile, the two cars with the number 5 and 55, that sounds familiar. 555. Still line asternal. Metternich getting a little slideways. Not by a huge amount. Gap closing. And Khalid Malcolm now under threat from Sherlock. So we're going to pay attention to this guy for a while. And the number 71. I'm also trying to keep an eye on the... Oh, I thought Sherlock was going to go straight on there, and it's gone all wrong. And he's going to spin, and he's going to... Oh, Christian Dawn finds another chicane in his way. Oh, dear. So Sherlock isn't going to be overtaking Khalid Malcolm anytime soon. And now that Christian Dawn actually was going to potentially unlap himself there. So Laberson now right on the tail of Sherlock. Meanwhile, whilst that was happening, Bomberclat has been passed by Metternich and he's in 5th place again. And I don't think he's going to be able to get this position back this time. Not unless Jesse hits the wall again. The number 27, Fabian Krebs. I heard the tyre squeal. Something happened at turn 1. I didn't see what happened, but he now finds himself with a bit of damage and behind Isti in 3rd. And with that damage, it looks like he's struggling to keep the car going in a straight line. So I think Jesse Metternich in contention for a possible podium here. Bomberclat might get 4th position yet. If Krebs hitting the wall! Metternich into 3rd place! Bomberclat about to get 4th. Fabian Krebs has a huge amount of damage. That is his race absolutely ruined. It seems that Bomberclat is fated to get 4th place here, and now he's going to feel extra incensed because he knows that Metternich, not the fastest driver around, might be able to get past and grab a surprise podium as we are 14 minutes into this race, though Bomberclat getting things a little bit wrong through the mountain section and not as close as he would like to be. Both drivers are going to be incensed here. Metternich going to try and open the gap behind. Well, it's Bomberclat trying to do the opposite, trying to close the gap. Khalid Malcolm on Fusion, though Fusion is a lap down. And Fusion letting the Ferrari past. Christian Dawn also about to be lapped by Lieberson. Sherlock, I think, had to pit for damage. Jabba has a huge amount of damage. Jordan Lake, 12th, was 2nd at one point. Brian Wilson, 13th. Pagnamenta, 8th now. though he is still about a lap down. Philip Kipp. Whoa! Hang on, what happened? Where's Isti gone? Where's Isti? We have lost Isti. I think he's had a disconnection. I don't see him on the leaderboard at all. He's just vanished, which means Bomberclash is on the podium, Metternich in P2. What has happened here? The stream's not working as fun as I would like. I'm just looking at my phone at the minute and it's still dropping a few frames. Unfortunately for Bomberclash, I think his challenge on Metternich has ended. He's now 2.1 seconds adrift, but still he's on the podium. Oh no! He's got it all wrong! He's still got some time to the cars behind, but he cannot afford to make mistakes like that. If he wants to hold on to the podium here, he has 24 minutes remaining, but he has damage. Oh no! John Bomberclash, how could you do this to me? I've been rooting for you. You cannot do that. 7.7 seconds to Khalid Malcolm behind, who is in a much healthier Ferrari 296. Might be catching Bomberclash here now. And with those 24 minutes left, I think he's got plenty of time to gain on Bomberclash. What is John gonna do here? Is he going to pit? No, he's in such a good position that he doesn't want to pit, but he gets a bit of a lock-up, and with that damage, I think his front splitter is damaged as well. He's not gonna have the front end turn, and the gap behind is shrinking quite a bit. 6.5 seconds already. Oh. Things just seem to be both in and against Bomberclash's favour here. With that huge amount of damage he has, he is hemorrhaging time to Jesse Metternich and Khalid Malcolm. The gap now less than 6 seconds. Oh, that just feels so... I was hoping that John would be able to take that podium, but it just doesn't look like he's going to be able to keep it now. Not with that huge amount of damage. There are no safety cars. There's no way he would even be able to fix the damage even with the safety car. Well, keep the position with the safety car. And I think he hasn't got it wrong again, has he? No, I don't think so. He's just got so little downforce now that he's broken his front splitter that the gap is less than 5 seconds and might soon enough be less than 4. Malcolm can see the Bentley ahead. He could probably see the lap time shrinking. He will likely know that Bomberclash had made a mistake of some sort. The gap is now less than 4 seconds. Who's the number 2? I don't know who the number 2 is, but he's got Pagnamenta for company behind. And Level Fusion might potentially unlap himself on Bomberclash as well. The gap's still shrinking, not by a huge amount at the minute, but it will do when they reach the mountain section. We're going up the mountain now. The gap soon to be less than 3 seconds, as we are just over never mind. We're about halfway into this race now, and Bomberclash, who's been driving so well after he was thrust into this unexpected position. Oh, Khalid Malcolm gets it a bit wrong as well. So that's going to help John for a little bit, though it depends on how much damage Malcolm got from that. Doesn't look like a huge amount, if any. Halfway mark reached. John Bumbleclat gonna hope that the cars behind just start driving like fools. Though he's doubtless wishing that he wasn't driving like a fool. Otherwise he wouldn't have that huge amount of damage. That open bonnet is going to be providing so much drag. There's no way he can defend from that Ferrari. That Ferrari is completely pristine. Whilst that's a rather poorly Bentley he has. So number 2, yes, the number 2 is Philip Kipp. He's passed Pagnamenta, he's lapped him. He's got quite the margin to the cars behind. Jesse Metternich in position 2 is 22 seconds behind Philip Kipp, so it's going to be a very comfortable win for Philip, unless he makes a mistake. Could be another driver that this track claims, but certainly Bumbleclat is wishing that this track hadn't claimed him, because he is about to lose 3rd place. I can't help but feel so bad for John Bumbleclat. He was driving so well. Oh, the new number 229 has had an incident. He came to a stop and he's jumped into the pits. What is the number 229? That is... I think that's Lieberson. It is currently P6, but he's lost out. Something's happened. The number 998, that's Luca Smith? No? Pagnamenta has also gone into the pits, so he's got it wrong at the narrow bit as well. So he's potentially going to lose 8th place now. In fact, I think he already has. Khalid Malcolm catching. Oh, and Bumbleclat gets it all wrong, and he's going to have to go. Oh, no! And he's facing the wrong way. And his damage was terminal. And that is Bumbleclat. His race was driving so well, but now he has to give it all up. And now Khalid Malcolm into 3rd place. Level Fusion in 10th. This race has been full of chaos. We just haven't seen all of it. Fabian Krebs is gonna lap Jordan Lake here. I mean, look at this. There's hardly any drivers on the field who are actually on the lead lap. Let's see. There's loads of lapped drivers. Philip Kipp. The car behind him is Luca Smith, who's currently running last. And he's been lapped at least once. The car behind Luca Smith is Jesse Metternich, driving much better than he was in the sprint. He's kept his car out of the wall, from what I can tell. Behind Metternich is Malcolm. Behind Malcolm is Fusion. Behind Fusion is Lieberson, then Bumbleclat and Pagnamenta, all in the pits to repair damage. Jordan Lake unlapping himself on these guys. I reckon one more lap, he may well be overtaking them. Fabian Krebs, now 6th after has just had his best lap of the race so far, 202.865. Still a ways behind Bumbleclat, who's going to be hoping that his car gets repaired quickly. The 2 Grass Porsches actually running in 6th and 7th on the same lap. They're doing very nicely, at least for Christian Dorn, the lesser of the 2 Grass drivers. Big Jabber is now P4, but he has some huge damage. Brian Wilson, P12. And now Bumbleclat has the ignominy of being lapped by Philip Kipp, potentially twice. Lucas Smith is 5 laps down. Pagnamenta might be out of the pits any minute now. I heard some squealing tyres to number 69. Oh no! Don't tell me I jinxed Christian Dawn. Come on, oh no, he's gone round at the difficult bit, though. It doesn't look like he's got a huge amount of damage. He keeps going. And the car behind him is Level Fusion, who I think is 3 laps down on him anyway, so he's safe. He just doesn't want to end up having to, what's the word, repair again. Jordan Lake might potentially unlap himself on Fabian Krebs, as there are there's about 14 minutes of the session to go. Time has more or less flown by here. Lieberson out of the pits now, in 10th. Pagament at 12th. Where is Bomberclat? Oh, Lucas Smith! Sliding. I don't know how he hasn't picked up any damage from that. Surely damage isn't on reduced settings. That was a huge shunt. Bomberclat now P7. That is a real shame. He was running so well. And that behind him is Jabber, the driver. He has to try and he can't unlap himself. He's done. Bomberclat cannot get past. I think, though, that now Bomberclat and Dawn are on the same lap. 6.4 seconds between them. Yeah. Bomberclat could still manage to salvage 6th here if he drives well enough. But still, a ways to go, and I just don't know who to focus on here anymore. No one is on the same lap, really. The only fight is with Bomberclat, who might be able to get past Christian Dawn at some point. And Bomberclat I don't think is safe either. Where is he? Who's the number 20? That's that's Jabber, who could lap him again. Bombarclat? Why don't you put... Isn't it spelled Bombarclat? Well, one V8 car found it was in P4, now there's another V8 car. The black Mercedes of Big Jabber. That huge amount of damage. He's not really under threat from anyone. 5th place driver is Fabian Krebs, who's technically in front of Jabber here. I heard a bit of tyre squeal. And Bomberclat now less than 5 seconds behind Christian Dawn, so I think Dawn may have had a bit of a mistake himself. The Bentley could still get 6th here. And of course the damage that Jabber has, well, if you had enough time, the Bentley could manage to get his way back past Jabber, but extra engine cooling, yeah. I don't think it's engine cooling that he really wants, though, because that's just slowing him down. It's nice to have, but it's not exactly regulation. And at his current pace, he's actually going to be fine. Oh, he's going wide. I just switched away from him just as it was happening, and he's actually going off the track. He's letting Brian Wilson unlap himself. But he's not under any real threat. I think he knows he can do that, because 5th place, number 27, Fabian Krebs, only just passed over the finishing line, and I think Krebs actually a lap down too. Though Krebs going much faster than Jabber is, because the gap was 38 seconds, though then again Jabber did slow down on that lap. So, and Jabber at 4th place, about to be lapped by Philip Kipp, as now less than 10 minutes of the race remaining, and Kipp hasn't put a foot wrong in this race. Been absolutely untouchable, and Jabber gets out of the way. Oh, 9th? I thought he was 7th. What happened? What? So evidently, Bomberclat here wasn't on the same lap as Christian Dawn. It was lying to me, because apparently Level Fusion is 7th now. I thought this was going to be an amazing battle for 6th place, but nope. The game's been lying to me, because Christian Dawn is actually a lap or so ahead of Bomberclat. So there's no more excitement in this race. This is the finishing order, more or less. You can turn off the stream now if you want. Oh, that's coming out of nowhere. I was praising Jesse Metternich for his clean driving. Oh no! And he's picked up a huge amount of damage, and now he might lose 2nd place. It's been a very bad day for. It's been a very bad day to have the number 5 on your car. And yeah, the damage to the Lamborghini is now. It's actively slowing Metternich down by a huge amount. Khalid Malcolm now P2. Metternich struggling to get any higher. He's got his hazards on. He's about to get unlapped by Level Fusion. 4th place car is Jabber, but Jabber a lap down on him. So Metternich needs to get into the pits, but I don't know how long that pit stop to repair his car is going to take. Jabber on the upward straight towards turn 2, whilst Metternich on the downward straight towards the final corner. Well, the final 3 corners. Oh, there's been a spin ahead of him. That's Brian Wilson, who's gone round. Got things a bit wrong at turn 2. He's got going again. So I'm trying to figure out here where Metternich P3 and onto the grass, letting cars past. He has to pit. There's 6 minutes of the session remaining. It's gonna be pretty close, and he's not able to get the pit lane quite right either. So Jabber about to go onto the downward straight, downhill straight now, as Metternich into the pits. His pit box right at the end, and now he can repair his car, but it's gonna be a while to go. Bomberclat can unlap himself. Christian Dawn can unlap. Philip Kipp will now lap the 3rd placed car. He's lapped everyone up to 3rd place now. Was Khalid Malcolm is in the mountain section now, and I don't think he'll be lapped either. Lucas Smith has pitted again as well. Ooh, that's funny. Jabber. Okay, he was a lap down. So he's just past Metternich. At least I think he's a lap down. There's the split ahead. Nope. Never mind. Jabber is third. So Jabber has spent most of this race in a very damaged Mercedes, and he's third. The attrition rate at this race has been astronomical. I just can't believe the amount of drivers who have been getting things wrong. I mean, this is Mount Panorama. It's Bathurst. It is one of the most grueling circuits in the world. It has claimed many drivers today. Krebs into fourth now. So he's had a fairly decent recovery. He's about to get lapped by Malcolm with 3.5 minutes of the race remaining. Metternich out into the racetrack again, into fifth, which goes to show just how huge the gaps are, that he only went from third to fifth in a single pit stop. Which would sound like, oh, if that was F1, then that's normal. But this is like a 40-plus second pit stop. And to only lose 2 positions? Wow. Liberson into the pits again. Anyone behind? No. So this is the penultimate lap now. Philip Kipp about to enter turn 2. What a race this has been. Brian Wilson into the pits again. Possibly going to try and go for fastest lap if he can. Bolt on some new tyres. Oh, well, he's got some damage as well. Yeah. So there hasn't really been much racing. Oh, Krebs has damage. I don't know if he's picked that up again, but he's now struggling to keep it going in a straight line. So Metternich might still at least get back P4 here from Fabian Krebs. Not on the final lap just yet, as Metternich cautiously trying to make his way back past Fabian Krebs. Krebs was on the racing line. He's still trying to defend, but it won't last forever. And in fact, it has ended. Metternich into P4. 4-second lap. Yes, Fabian Krebs, he almost certainly had a crash of some sort, as he was almost 20 seconds down. Now the best he could hope for is P5. Because the 6th place driver is his teammate Christian Dorn, who is about to go over the finishing line and is in fact almost about to be lapped by the leader, who is on the final lap. Absolutely imperious, absolutely dominant. The only thing that could go wrong for Philip Kipp here is if he's accidentally underfueled his car too much. Or if he has one last-minute mistake. But then again, he's like the only driver who could potentially take the win from him now. It's Khalid Malcolm, who is technically ahead of him. And that gap is still dropping. Jordan Lake actually fighting for position against Laurel Fusion. But where there's less than 10 seconds of the race remaining, I don't know if they'll be allowed to continue, or if this is the final dash for position. We'll watch here for now. Car number 55 is Metternich. He's got Lieberson for company, who is trying to unlap himself. Is this going to be the final lap for these two? Is Fusion going to hold on to P7? No, it's one more lap. Jordan Lake, 4 seconds quicker than Fusion. This is their final lap then. They have to have been lapped, but evidently, because Krebs hasn't actually ended the race, they're still able to go for it. Jordan Lake might get 7th. Oh, hearing tyres squeal. Wrong buttons. Half a second separate them. We might still get an amazing race.
The leader has finished the race.
As Philip Kipp takes the win. Christian Dorn can only manage 5th place. Fabian Krebs in 6th. So the damage on Krebs' car was so great that he actually lost out to his teammate. A rare time that Krebs ended up behind Christian Dorn. But one more car that could end up behind another. The fighting going on until the death here between Level Fusion and Jordan Lake. And Fusion has to get his act together here. Can the Mercedes hold on to 7th? There's 0.4 of a second between them. It's a Ferrari. The faster car in a straight line is going to be more streamlined, but it won't probably have the same amount of power. He has the slipstream. Can he make a dive bomb? He's going to try go around the up. No, he throws him a dummy. And that has caught Fusion out. Fusion has lost P7 here. And he has to let Jordan Lake past. Because even though he kept hold of P7 here, it was by going onto the grass. And you can see Jordan Lake wiggling his wheels in just joy. A race of what could have been for Jesse Metternich, who was in P2 and then threw it away. And John Bomberclat, who was in P3 and then threw it away. And now only 7th, I think. So there we go. And he's 9th. Not 7th. So Philip Kipp takes the win by 90 seconds. Big Jabber, 3rd place. Incredible race for him. Who's still doing donuts? I can hear a car doing donuts. It's Khalid Malcolm celebrating his 2nd place. He's not being the fastest driver. I think this is his first podium. I'm not entirely sure. Jesse Metternich, only P4. Christian Dorn, P5. Krebs, P6. Jordan Lake, P7. Level Fusion, P8. John Bomberclat, P9. Brian Wilson, P10. Marek Lieberson, P11. And we've had a couple of... Mendez? Oh, he left. Okay, he was one of the people who left. And we've lost their leader.
Green light. Go, go, go.
So there we go. That is the session. Hello? Can I quit? Come on. There we go. So, Krebs is going to extend his lead over Paglamenta. I think Paglamenta may have retired in the end. I didn't see him in the leaderboard towards the end. So Krebs almost certainly going to gain some time, but... Okay, that surely wasn't Tom Tom. Who is Philip Kipp? He's not on this board here at all. Huh. Oh well. So, next week on the 2nd of June, we are going to Zandvoort. The old version of Zandvoort. Not the old version, but the slightly less old version before the F1 renovations. Until then, though, thank you very much for watching. Have a good one, and we'll see you next week. Good night.
We'll be right back.